everyone, checkers and pleasers alike. Welcome to our show Checkpoint, the show where we discuss and discern the current events of the most recent episode of Check Please. Today we are discussing Check Please, episode 64, and I would love to welcome our members today. I am Kenny, your fortunate host. Foaly as my co-host. Gleamin' in the Moonlight is the new note.
I had to go with the Prince of Egypt reference.
Is that a Prince of Egypt?
Gleaming in the moonlight.
Everybody.
I was thinking of that song more so.
I was thinking
for
Dancing in the Moonlight,
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, we can do that one for the next season, for the next session, if you'd like.
Xeno, our Swamp Witch Swarm Monger.
Oh God, I have both the B's and the knees.
Beardy, our DM Daddy.
Hi.
And Skrewy, our Rock Hard Holy Man.
Hello!
Oh, okay.
Just hello.
Kind of expecting a little bit more than that, but all right.
Nope, that's all you're getting right now.
Okay, that's
Fair
fine.
enough. That's totally okay.
That's A-okay. I just, yeah, all right.
You raised
Yeah,
our
normally
hopes.
I have more, but
You're good.
yeah.
Well, starting out discussing the most recent episode, which I guess in a way is kind of finale part 1.
Mm-hmm.
We start the episode off by entering the Deadlands and just kind of having that audio change to music we haven't heard in
Ages. Yeah.
over a year?
Oh.
Yeah, over a year now.
It was appropriately creepy and disturbing, and things certainly got creepier and more disturbing from there.
So we kind of, going through the Deadlands, kind of ended up seeing things follow us, little undead creatures here and there. At one point, just a single entity was near us. And now, Beardy, I have a question. Was that in hopes to provoke us to fight it, or what was that?
Well, I think initially I was trying to create an ambiance of fear and just the idea that you're not alone here and that you're being watched and followed. And it had to start somewhere, so it was going to start with a single figure. And if you had attacked it, it either would have disappeared or it would have been easily slain. But I just kind of wanted to create this concept of this place is kind of intelligent and knows you're here.
It was definitely creepy. You achieved creepy.
That was
Indeed.
the goal.
And I said it in the episode, but it gave me very hard Death Stranding vibes, where it's like you look in the distance and there's just these strands of dead entities just everywhere, just nowhere is safe kind of feel.
Oh yeah.
It was good. I love
Yep.
It was very atmospheric.
I was shooting for something between Death Stranding and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Those are the two inspiration points I was going for.
I think you did
For
it.
the visual.
Very
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going for Silent Hill at all, with the
That's
rolling fog.
with
The
Anything
fog on
with
the nose,
fog
though.
you can assume is
But-
Silent Hill,
yeah.
but that's... I feel like that's too easy to say.
Yeah.
The minute you see
Yeah.
fog, you're like, Silent Hill. I mean, I just do that as a joke in real life.
I remember I was online and someone was talking about how cringe it is for people to say, "Oh, it's Silent Hill when there's fog." And I'm like, I do that literally every time I see fucking fog. It goes through my head. I say, I'm in Silent Hill.
I mean, Silent Hill is
A
best
little
as a psychological torture and not as just a scary game, because it's so much darker than it appears at first. It's such a
Played all of them? I'm curious. Or
No,
the main 4, I should
no,
say.
I played 1 and 2.
Well, 2 is
I played
considered the
0.
best. Oh no,
Yeah.
I didn't
that
hear
one's
what-
not good.
Which one?
Silent Hill 0. think
No,
it
I
has
played
different-
0. I played none of them.
Oh, I thought you were telling me the prequel.
Sorry, there is a Silent Hill 0.
There's a prequel.
Oh, that's funny. Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny. Okay.
I played through part of the first one because I keep on trying to finish it so I can go on to 2, and then I just never finish it.
I mean, they're
Good
not
luck.
super
Good news.
connected, so you
There's
can
no
just play
connective
them.
tissue. So
True.
you can skip 1.
But I have that mentality. Same reason why I haven't finished Elden Ring. I'm like, oh, I need to finish Dark Souls 3, and now I'm like, oh, I should actually play Demon Souls first, and then play that, and then go on to that.
I haven't played any of them, and I feel like if I did, I would be way too scared and be constantly like hiding behind my office chair instead of trying to play them.
Do you want to know which ones I did finish?
Which
Downpour and Homecoming.
Oh, Shattered Memories. I finished Shattered Memories
I
as
think-
well as an extra one.
I think I did Shattered Memories as well.
That one's
yeah.
fun. Just for the silliness of like, this does not matter canonically in any way.
Mhm.
It's on the fucking Wii. That
Ooh.
should tell you enough.
Anyway,
Yeah.
But in terms of
Uh,
atmosphere, you definitely hit on a lovely combination of images that, yeah, it's a classic for a reason.
Yeah,
That-
Just for like total explanation, the images I used were all AI generated.
I was speaking figuratively on the images, not literally the images on screen.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Okay. Those are what I was talking.
Though I will say the addition of the moving fog on top of the
Mhm.
images,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Loved
yeah,
that.
That's a module within Foundry, to allow for weather effects. So
I used it in the Entity
Mhm.
Halloween special a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, creates a nice a nice effect, and then I used stable diffusion and just prompted it and tried to like tweaked it a lot. So it was a relatively time consuming endeavor to make those images to just how I wanted them, or at least to be close enough to how I pictured them. But it's a useful tool for people that have no art skills.
Well, it was certainly evocative and spooky imagery, and yet, because we're the heroes, we did, instead of turning tail and fleeing, we did continue further into the Deadlands, with these forces gathering on the periphery. Then we knocked into 3 more undead who actually spoke to us because it seemed like they felt they were still alive.
Yeah, what
and
the
it was
fuck
quite
was
tragic.
up with that?
Yeah.
Who were they?
So let's see. I have their names written down. I'll pull those up in a moment. But as a concept, I wanted the Deadlands to be a place where nothing really truly can die. Like it, even if you slay someone there, they're still kind of around. But those 3 people were members of an adventuring party that had gotten lost / killed in one of the battles to try to slow the Deadlands down.
But they weren't
And-
lost souls.
No, they weren't. They were just dead heroes.
Oh.
So
Now, was
the
this-
idea,
Sorry. Go ahead.
so the idea was that they were slain in the battle and they just kind of rose a little bit later and had no recollection of dying and were just kind of lost at that point, trying to get out of there. And the Deadlands at that point kind of anchored them to the spot, so they weren't able to really leave. My notes up.
They're gone
I was-
now.
They're gone now.
We can get the names later. It's
Uh,
that wasn't so much what I was asking as just was this group from a different campaign? Did you sort of invent them?
No,
whole
they
cloth?
were just heroes.
Okay, I wasn't sure
like
if
I
you'd
said,
brought them in from somewhere else.
They were from a group called the Order of the Rose, and it was a paladin named Aude, a cleric named Dario, and a rogue named Ladislas.
And it seemed like 2 of them were involved with that long goodbye look between 2 of them. So, or perhaps just close. My question is, was this the adventuring party we encountered in that one tavern but never followed up on?
No.
Oh gosh.
No. Okay. Deep cut there.
Wow,
Anyway.
I'd forgotten about them. Jeez. That was wow. I had completely forgotten about them.
But that added, I think, to the overall ambiance of that moment. It added to the tragedy, and it made it more real just in terms of all of these lives. It grounded it in that these are not just faceless hordes of people. These were real people with real lives, and worse than them being dead is worse than them being undead and not realizing they're dead. Also, the moment of stepping across and seeing all the shields lying on the ground, that was creepy as flip.
And no bodies.
Nobody.
got off safe.
Ooh.
It's all good.
They're fine.
we know
if
where the-
there's no bodies, they're fine.
Nope.
Of course.
We
no
know where the
crime.
bodies are now.
3 of them. 3 of them didn't make it.
No, we know pretty much where the bodies are.
3 of them didn't make it.
3 of them did not make
Everyone else is in the Holy City, getting a brew at the pub.
it. Sure.
Fingers
I like
crossed.
that.
It's a
It- it-
joke.
Oh, okay. I was. Where's you right there? Need to get a couple more inches. 'cause
Sarcasm,
right above my
honey.
head. I can't honestly. I can't tell his sarcasm. It is so chef kiss. Top
I mean,
shelf
if it's an
sarcasm.
absurdity, it's probably Xeno talking out of his ass.
In any case, we continue on, but with these gathering hordes, we soon get stopped by lost souls and shadows, I believe was the other term.
Yep.
Come down on us from all directions and from the sky, and these 3 undead adventurers do side with us, but it was still quite a difficult fight. So, but we saw some new powers and some new elements debut. But what did everyone think of that first encounter?
I was for the undead that were fighting with us. Were they like spirits, or were they the corpses also? They're the corpses also, right?
I think in that fight, everything was in the entire session. I think all the undead you were fighting were incorporeal.
For the heroes.
Oh, they were corporeal.
Because I was hoping that they would die, so I could collect if they had any of the Gigerian symbols, just so I could bring it back to Gigerian's
Yeah.
temple. Like, hey, these people died.
Well,
you know?
Nice.
That's cool.
tell you what, if you go back now,
I mean, to be
you'll
fair,
find the gear.
I was considering having Vera go to the battlegrounds to find their bodies to
Mhm.
bring back.
Yeah, they're there. So
That would be a fantastic. Assuming we survive and beat Marcus, that would be a lovely little pseudo post-credit scene.
mhm.
So yeah, that would be great.
It's too bad we
Would-
picked the
would love
hard
that.
Marcus to beat up, because if we just go to the Mary Valley, he would be so easy to kill.
Yeah.
Kick the shit out of Mark too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if the objective to win the campaign is to kill Marcus, I'll leave it up to you guys. Because it's,
Which
if
Marcus?
it's spelled with a C or a K, yeah.
Sod Prota, right? Merry Valley. Zell's not going to stop us anymore.
Yeah,
Who's going to
yeah.
put up a fight, Mrs.
Yeah.
You know,
What was the
honestly,
name?
he probably
Snatch?
wouldn't have put up a fight anyways. He would have been like, yeah, kill the fake, kill the fake. It wears
He'd
my
have been
friend's
helping us.
skin.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
really doing
actually,
Zell
yeah,
a
okay.
favor if you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a question. Did the lost soul that inhabited Garbin, did Marcus which inhabited Garbin, was that Garbin's skin suit, or
Yeah.
was that? Oh wow, okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he was so upset. He's like, you're wearing my skin, my friend's skin.
Yeah, it was Garbin's body puppeted by a lost soul.
And now it's a
Puppet.
replica of Garbin's body puppeted by a robot.
But who could possibly object to that? Chatting up
I mean-
one of these halflings that you've sworn to protect.
He's a very, very advanced AI. You just have to look at the number of fingers.
Do you think that Zell's daughter actually enjoyed Mark II because it made Zell uncomfortable?
Ooh.
That's a good
Wait, one
question.
more time?
Knows? Yeah.
What's the question there?
Ooh.
Sorry, I missed the first half.
Do you think that Zell's daughter enjoyed Mark II because
Oh.
it caused distress in Zell?
Yeah, Mala.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to believe that. Yes.
Was Zell able to like effectively communicate with Soul because he also had his own teenager at the time?
Probably.
He was
I mean,
able to go into dad mode with them.
I don't know if teenager is quite accurate. His kids are a lot of different ages.
Mm.
But of the ones you guys met, it was Mala, the eldest of his offspring. And then the other people at that party were Oakhurst, which was his youngest son, and Ravulu, which is his favorite kid. It's kind of one of the middle of the bunch, but Ravulu is his favorite
A middle
offspring.
being a favorite? That never
Yeah,
happens.
a middle being a
Seriously.
favorite, and it's because she's basically took completely after him as far as her love for halflings.
Ooh, that's
Oof.
yeah, that's some great parenting right there. That makes me like Zell slightly less.
Like,
Look,
oh,
they're
this-
dragons, all right. They
It's
don't
totally
have the
real.
same.
No,
They don't have the same psychology as humans.
Oh.
Nah.
So,
All I can think of is like a father who's like, "Oh, this one likes sports, so I'll only bond with that boy."
Yep, this is sounding so
Yeah.
familiar. Oh dear.
Oops, got your childhood trauma. Hey,
It's
give
like,
that
oh,
back. That was a
this
gift
one-
from my mother.
It's like this one likes the things that I'm in, too. So I like this one the most.
Zell.
now
Damn
I have
it,
a
Zell.
theory. Now I have a theory
Oh yeah.
about a fucking skull. Now I have a theory.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
No.
Theories about skulls.
Well,
Okay.
as we're engaging in this battle, Levette, shout out to Grem. Levette got to debut a new feature. Do you want to talk about that, Beardy? Since I guess you would have collaborated with Grem in specking that
Yeah,
out.
sure. So Twin Eidolon is an ability that Grim was very, very excited for, all the way back at level 1. like the moment that Summoner was a class that was being thrown around, he's like, Twin Eidolon is so awesome. And I'm like, yeah, it's really awesome. It's easily, at least of the ones I'm familiar with, it is the strongest of all capstones that I've ever seen. It is stupid. It allows the summoner to basically just become a carbon copy of their Eidolon, which is really, really strong because Eidolons, as you are all aware, really fucking powerful entities. So, yeah. So he had this idea to make the robot suit as a way to kind of like skin it to fit the character that he's playing. So he made the robot suit, and then made it into an elaborate Big O reference.
Elaborate.
But I mean, it was so good though. I loved it.
What was the reference there? Because or you can
it
tell
was an
me
elaborate
off
Life
screen
Big O.
if you want.
references.
Yeah, it was an elaborate Big O reference. Big O is an anime that is, the best way I could describe it is Batman if it was a mecha anime.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost
It's like,
obscure now.
What, 10 episodes?
Yeah.
It's not very
it
long.
was a very short anime, and it also makes no sense.
Yeah.
No.
It has a very wild
What
ending.
anime from the 80s makes sense? Let's
There
be
we
Was
go.
it from
honest.
the 80s? Was
Dragon
it?
Ball.
God, it's not that old.
It's definitely from the 80s, if
No.
not
I've
early
gotta look this up.
90s.
It's got to be. I swear it was the 90s.
Well,
anime.
while we check that, I do want to shout out to Graham as well for doing the art for that, which was lovely work. And also the names. It was Dorothy or the Mechanical Eidolon Combat Harness, or MEC. So we even got the
wow.
acronym to work out.
1999.
Yeah. First air date 2001.
Woo.
Last air date 2003
In America.
God.
in America.
Old.
That's
Yeah, the manga was in 1999.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the anime, not the manga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the,
geez,
the anime
like,
was also 1999 in Japan.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So still a bit far from
Still.
the 80s.
but like still
Yeah.
20 years old.
Well, yeah,
It's-
I mean, but it's formative anime for like what I started watching that shit.
Yes.
Because of Cartoon Network.
Man, I watched Love Hina's and like Lodos Wars. Like very two different shows as like my beginning shit. Both I don't think I was supposed to be watching when I was little. One was
probably
very
not.
bloody and one was very sexual.
I was,
It was
I
a
was
very OG harem anime right there.
Junior
Yeah.
year of high school, I was off sick with a fever, so I was slightly hallucinatory anyway. And I decided that the best possible thing I could do with my time would be to download Evangelion. Evangelion.
Wow.
Yeah, Evangelion, yeah.
It may have made more sense to me, feverish than it would do if I were in my right mind.
What-
I
That
had
kind
a
of
similar experience with Moulin Rouge, oddly enough.
What doesn't make sense about Evangelion?
It
Omete
Do I need to explain the second impact?
no, thank you. Point is, it turned me off anime until my late 20s, early 30s.
But it had it did have a really cool gay subplot
Omete
that got completely edited out of the American version.
Yeah, I think I watched the Japanese version. I don't remember. That was a weird week. And Miyazaki, obviously, I watched. But aside from that, anyway, we should get back to talking about the episode because a lot of fun
Yeah,
shit
I
happened.
guess.
Because Levette did great in her mecha, but Archie, we've got to give due credit, also managed to obliterate 2 lost souls in a single round because Archie is now armed with the sword and the shield that were recovered from the Giant King and Rasphere, so
the
that was
shield
pretty
was
badass.
unusable because Grim didn't have the information on how to use it.
Oh no! Oh,
That's
Well,
it's
okay.
it was still granting the shield bonus to AC, it's actually doing nothing until activated.
Reflect.
Yeah.
Shit.
So yeah, it has to be activated to be used, and it can only be used once a day.
Gotcha.
But it's
Which
giving me.
seems.
Oh, Scott, go ahead.
How is it only activated once a day when that like giant was able to use it like twice against us?
Because it was during the same duration. Like it works for 2d4 rounds,
Okay.
combat.
And it's just for spellcast
and it just lasts that long. So you
Okay.
can reflect as many things as you can in that time, but for 2d4 rounds, it's active.
gotcha.
per day.
Okay, that's not
So.
terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a short duration for a magic item, but it doesn't need to be very long duration because it's a very powerful effect when it's on. The ability to just like negate targeted spells is a pretty big deal.
Well, at least we saved it for the goddamn betrayer then, if it was
Yeah,
only
the
one
final
time a
boss.
day.
Yeah,
Pringle? And yes, that
She's
I-
always here in spirit.
Mhm.
I'm glad. I hope. I'm glad that we are still fairly well equipped to deal with Marcus, since we're getting no rest. I would imagine. But well, yeah, you've already said, Beardy, that we're not going to be resting before the final battle. So we need to have saved spells and points and so forth.
Mhm.
Yo, I have so many fucking spells ready.
Yo,
You don't even know.
Mhm.
I have all my fun spells.
I've got a
Like-
few that I've been waiting to bust out, and I'm looking forward to it.
Because
Ready for-
oh no, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I'm ready for Skrewy to throw Chains of Light again and have it fail. It's just constant. Like,
it
every
had-
time Chains of Light, it's like Chains of Light.
No,
And
it worked that one
and
time.
then I'll roll like a nat 20 on the save. It's just like
It worked
okay.
that one time.
Sorry, which is more than we can say for what is it? Hold monster.
Yes.
I will say
Yes.
this though.
I've had
Did
Old
Chains of
Monster work
Light-
twice.
Did Chains of Light work, Skrewy, or did I fudge the die because I felt bad?
Ooh. It worked that one time in PvP until we figured out
True
that
s-
actually Curler was immune, but then we said that it worked anyway. We just hand waved that.
Yeah.
I can't prove or disprove one way or the other, so
Yeah.
I am going to choose to believe it
Choose to
worked.
believe that it worked, and that is the answer I like to hear. So I'm glad.
Talking about
I'm glad for that.
cheesing the dice. Let's continue forward so we can get to the.
Yeah, fuck.
Well,
I'm
next
not
up,
introducing the next bit.
Meow.
Meow.
all right. Okay, just a question. Did this happen before or after? No, this happened before the conversation. Okay. So we get to Fort Grigoli, and that's when I believe Kurla casts a meowing spell, which they did while we were in the Pentress Estates, I believe.
I cast it before we entered the Deadlands. I used it in
Oh, okay.
both sessions of combat,
I
and all of it
apologize.
requires me to go meow.
It requires.
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 I said this
Only
before we
Kurla. I'm gonna say this right now.
I said this before we started doing the session here. Curler casts by instinct, and if they get a feeling that they have to do a certain thing to cast a spell, that's what they'll do. Now, whether or not that actually is required for them to cast that particular spell, who knows? Maybe it just says something about Curler that they want to cast it that way secretly, so that's just being expressed.
I can't
in that
believe you
moment.
made us do a perception check when we're literally all standing in the same fucking spot.
I wanted the turning around and everyone looking at the moment.
Oh, don't worry. That was happening in either case. Meow. What?
I will explain that eventually, but for right now, it's just amusing me to
I
keep on doing it.
think I know what it is.
It's, yeah. I would.
I thought it was a
But
different
yes.
spell a while back, but I think I know which one it is.
I
now.
will wait because I want to be. I actually do
We'll
want to
go
hear
over it in
your
the
explanation.
final
We
checkpoint.
will. But yes, as you pointed out, Keni, I also did that in the Pentress Estate, so it hasn't been used too much. I haven't subjected you too much to the
Except for today.
except for today during this. Yep.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, Jesse posted it in the chat. I had to. Let's move on.
So, we start. since that happened before, we kind of hightail it to Fort Gurgoli. Obviously, we meet up with those adventures. We fight a bunch. And as a group, partially through suggestion, we decide they're trying to delay us. Let's just fucking get to the fort and, like, get this thing set up, right? So we yeet out of there. I don't really feel bad that we left those dead people because they're dead. I'm sorry.
If I recall, they actually suggested that we do that. It was, they were prepared to make the
I think they
sacrifice.
just made
and
an
they started.
action.
Okay.
Yeah. And we just interpreted it, right?
Yeah. Because
Yeah, that's what I
they
thought
had
too.
this look, and then one went off and was like, over here. And I was like, thanks for the opening, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, that was their plan. They were going to distract them to let you guys get out of there.
Well, also, there was conversation beforehand. It's like, oh, we have to move now.
Mhm.
And then they did their action, so.
Well, props to them. Even undead, they still were wanting to help, which was
Like to say
speaks
that
well of them.
The combat was really tight this time. I'm liking how our combat encounters are going. They're tight AF. And and so props to you, you Beardy, and you Kenny for getting us on
What
board
did I
with
do?
tightening up our. I mean, you're the producer, so I think I don't know if it was your idea or Beardy's idea, but either way, pardon me. Either way, kudos to you guys for trying to get us on a tighter.
You realize Beardy's the DM, right?
Hi,
Oh, okay.
I run the game. I write and run the game. That's my job.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But as we approach the fort, there is a nice moment between Riz and Zell.
Sorry, I'm just imagining the end screen for the entire campaign, and it's just Kenny. And then, like,
Yeah.
Vera's image comes up, Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny did everything.
Did
there were no
everything.
other players.
DM
It's been
Kenny
all in
as
your
interpreted
head.
by Beardy.
It was all in my neuroses.
Mhm.
I was in Silent Hill the whole time.
Oh my god.
I thought we've
Yeah.
established
just gotta
that we
wake up
were
at
in
the
the Telic
Telehouse.
house the whole time. Yeah.
No.
Which is Silent Hill.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
Ah.
This whole thing
A
has
little
been a teaser for Konami's next
Oh fuck.
flop.
Oh.
Fuck
Yeah, they're making a
Rip.
fantasy, a fantasy magic medieval Silent Hill game, and we just demoed it.
But there was
Oh.
a lovely moment between Riz and Zell where Zell kind of sees his imminent fate looming ahead of him, and it looks pretty grim. But that doesn't make him waver. It makes him feel good about the life that he lived and feel glad, and he kind of recommits to what he needs to do, which I thought was lovely.
I just enjoyed all the moments where he was like, I'm not sure about this anymore. These fucking idiots over here.
I mean, I think once he saw us like badass bitching in combat, he was probably like, "Oh, they're just mentally ill, but at least they're strong.
Pretty much, yep.
They can handle themselves. They're just mentally ill." All right, this is
And he was certainly holding his own in battle as well. He was doing fantastically. He was
he's a
really
fucking dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was. I loved watching that. I loved him being all in. I like watching dragons kick ass. It's almost as fun as flying on dragons.
Just wait till you
Yeah.
fight them next season.
No.
Yeah,
I don't
not
wanna
looking
fight
forward to
them.
that.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Is that right? That'll be fun without a healer.
What
Yeah.
are you talking about? Zulin's gonna be the healer.
Yeah.
True.
We have a great healer.
Don't worry about it.
He is so efficient at making things.
Yeah. All the heals. Drink this.
I can't wait to heal y'all with highly ineffective healing potions.
Drink this potion.
Yo,
1d4 healing? Nice.
Excellent.
it somehow worked for the Snake Eyes kids, so like, I'll fucking take it.
I am never playing a healer again. Not because I haven't enjoyed it, but because I want to try something else. So
Well, I guess then like paladins and clerics are out then.
probably
Okay.
I
Go for
want to
monk.
try other things. So, but it's been fun. I've been happy to keep you all alive.
I'm excited to play a paladin for season 4 or campaign 3.
Hmm.
Changing our naming structure is gonna be a feat for my
We'll
brain.
get used to it. It's fine.
Eventually, yeah.
Gonna be a feat for the damn wiki. Shameless plug, wiki.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
Skrewy, I've gone over this in chat. I inform everyone of the things when they're changing.
if you look on the wiki, Skrewy, a lot has already changed. If you look in like the
Oh,
footnotes,
okay.
you'll notice that the
You
new naming
too,
conventions are in
beloved viewer.
place. Yes.
But
You can join me in learning.
yeah, we were able to, spend a moment with Zell. He was ready to give his life. I was really happy about that. And then as we get to Fort Grigoli, we were able, I wanted to make sure as a player personally, to bring up that, like, in case anyone died in the next battle, that, like, we said something so none of us had regrets, at least as our characters. And I really wanted to make sure of that because definitely after experiencing that, there was a high chance that any of us could have died there. So I'm really glad I got to take that opportunity to do that. I hope you guys were okay with it too, since that was spur of the moment, but I was looking at the time and was like, all right, I gotta rack this up just a little bit longer.
No, it was a nice moment. I kind of wish I had had more to express. It kind of did come out of left field, but I still appreciated that.
I
The
mean,
moment was
it's a
there.
role-playing game. It's improv.
Yeah, and Vera didn't have anything like substantial. Just Vera just said what Vera would say.
And I thought Petra was Petra, very sweet as always. But
Even Jiro chimed in with a "You're all crazy."
I know, the crazy gets the work done.
Mm-hmm.
I was considering having Vera say, "What the hell did he say?"
Vera needs to chill.
That's not going to happen.
They have no chill.
I don't know, she chilled out after, but we'll get there.
Yes.
That's true.
So-
Tragically born without a chill.
But we say our pieces. We have an awkward all hands in type thing that
I
doesn't
love
work
it.
because of the timing, which
Mhm.
is so perfect for us. And then
I blame Vera mostly.
About I thought we were going to fight like a demon or something.
Yeah. So, okay, fortune favor. It was just like, we hadn't counted yet, Vera.
No, then Grem and Levette bust out the Necrosucci device, which is, of course, its official name.
True.
And
Yes.
suddenly we're engulfed in lost souls and shadows and giant shadows, and oh my fuck, that combat. Ooh.
Ugh.
We were gonna
Yeah.
die.
Thanks
We
for
were gonna burn
fudging
through
it.
everything.
Thank you for fudging the third magic spell from the shadow.
Yeah, thanks,
Got it.
Beardy.
Because like
Maybe not be as obvious, though.
it was like 80 damage, 60 damage. Oh, he rolled really low, 20 damage.
20 damage.
Did you overdo it, maybe?
No,
No, okay.
no. It was good.
Yes.
Ah, you silly Bo Billy.
Just had to do some quick subtraction to make sure I wasn't going to kill anybody by accident.
Harlot.
Yeah, well, by the end of that first round, a lot of us were pretty damn close to death. A
Yeah.
lot of damage had been taken, and a lot of
10
points had
rounds?
been a lot of points had been expended by Riz to do rerolls.
Yeah.
A couple of rounds of meowing had happened to try, or at least one meowing had happened to try and do a
We
reroll.
did 2 overall in
Two.
all the combat.
It's
Thank-
one per round, so yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. But yeah, by the end of that, it was supposed to be 10 rounds originally, Beardy. That was what you had envisioned for that fight?
Yeah.
Because
so
60
I wanted-
minutes, I beg your pardon, 60 seconds for the deployment of the...
Yeah. One minute to spool up the NSD, but what I wanted to do was give enough time that the combat would take long enough, basically, to flesh out the whole episode or the second half of the episode. Not knowing how long or how short that combat would turn out to be, based on just a lot of factors that are really difficult to.
Measure.
Yeah. Well, difficult to.
Anticipate.
Sorry. Estimate. Thank you. Sorry. Getting that 10 rounds was just sort of a nice round number. Takes a minute to spool up. It's like, okay, cool. But then every time the NST took damage, I made sure to note that it was looking like something was wrong with it. That way, if it came time that we needed to push things forward, there was an easy narrative reason that the NSD would go off early. So it's all about building in like a backdoor for yourself to be like, okay, cool, we don't actually have to be here for 10 rounds because at the rate we're playing, we'll be here for another hour and a half to get to that point. And while that would have been fine had we had infinite time, I do try to keep it as close to time as possible.
Notably, just as a note, the finale in 2 weeks is going to go as long as it goes.
It will go as long as it goes. I will not be stopping that at any arbitrary time. That will continue on until either I collapse from exhaustion or the story is wrapped up.
So when the story is wrapped up.
Yeah. So that is
so
my
what you're
promise.
telling me is bring my A game and my 6-pack of monsters.
No.
Do you not bring your A game every game, Skrewy?
I always bring my A game every time. It's just in addition to the A game.
You got the
Bring
boom
the 6-pack of monsters.
I would go against that, but that's fine. So I mean, look, to me, a good fight is one in which everyone in the party can feel powerful. At some point, you pull off something awesome and you do something cool, and your character feels useful and powerful. Also, in that fight, there has to be a moment where things look grim. Things look like, oh, we're gonna die here. So coupling those two things together is like a good narrative combat, right? That is a climactic battle in which, oh no, there's the moment where it looks like we're all going to die here, and then a character gets to feel awesome and do something cool and save the day, and that kind of needs to happen with most, or if not all, of the party at one point or another in that battle, for it to be like objectively a good fight, in my opinion.
Did you feel like you accomplished that? Because I mean, looking from my perspective, I think that you accomplished
it. It was close. I'll say it was better than most. It was close. I think that the only character that didn't get a chance to truly shine in that battle would have been Petravian. And that's just because
but they were all ranged stuff. It was ranged.
No, they were melee. The only ones that were ranged were the huge shadows that were casting spells. All the other guys were melee.
I
You
did give
were
everybody smite.
ranged.
You were ranged, not
Yes.
them. You were
didn't
ranged.
go up to them
Yes.
to fight.
But the only thing is that was not a fight that was conducive to a paladin's, or at least your paladin's combat strategy.
Right.
So it didn't really give you the opportunity to do anything that cool, but you did get to use that Aura of Justice ability and give everybody a smite. So like even you got to do something that was interesting.
I don't
Yes.
understand how that ability works anymore.
And I do also feel like it sets you up to have some really cool moments in the coming battle, especially when it's, right outside of Prota. So that's going to really fire Petravian up, I would think.
Yeah.
My one question on that, the way I interpret it is that
The sentence always ends up being very good when you say that part as the beginning.
the way I interpret the Aura of Justice,
Mhm.
it gives everybody the smite for a full minute, but they have to start the smite. But it doesn't dictate how many things they can
No.
target.
I thought when we first used it, it was like a minute to use it, but you had to choose who it was you were targeting
Yeah, and
right away.
in season 1, that's what happened against Glarv. So,
Gotcha.
I think we just need the DM to look through it and be like, this is how it works, and explain
Okay.
it to us.
Maybe we
please.
just go with that.
I'll tell you how it works right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Uses 2 charges of channel of land hands, right?
Your
Okay.
choose smite.
Of smite. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So you burn 2 charges of smite, and then burst around you. Everybody gets, at that point, during their turn, the first thing they should do when their initiative comes up that round is they declare a target for their smite. At that point, for the next 10 rounds, they get effectively a smite evil on that target.
That one
that's
target.
How,
Okay.
yes, it's only ever on one target.
Now, does that apply to all attacks or just physical attacks?
It doesn't.
It does not
say.
apply to magic.
Okay.
Right.
So it doesn't affect spell damage or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's
But
important for me because then
the
I need to know where I need to center myself so
Mhm.
that the melee characters
Yeah.
Get.
You?
You.
You and Archie.
You and Archie.
Vera
Yeah,
too.
basically, the
So
effects of
not
smite
really
is that
anymore.
you get your charisma to attack and your level to damage. So that's what you're imparting on the rest of the party. For a single target, lasts for 1 minute, but the targets have to be declared immediately, basically, during that first round.
So once we see Marcus, blast that out again.
Yeah.
Everybody go after Marcus.
Now, the durations of those smites only last for a minute for the rest of the party, but your actual smites last until the end of combat. Just so you know.
Mhm. Yes.
It's the only real mechanical difference between your smite and the smite you're granting to them, is that your smites are permanent.
Right, and I can't have 2 smites going at one time.
Correct.
It's interesting that you've got that as using channel, 2 uses of channel, because I also tried something new using 2 uses of channel that didn't actually work, which was turn undead. The rationale there, just for the record, is not that Kurla wants to preserve the life of the undead by making them flee. It's fewer of them attacking us makes them easier to kill, especially if they're running away.
Mm-hmm.
So in case that wasn't clear,
Yeah.
Was Turn
They just
Undead
rolled very well.
used?
in the first battle,
In the first battle,
Yeah.
when I
Curly
had
used-
initiative, so I used it right off the bat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They
and it
just
did not.
both rolled like champions. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It does happen from time to time.
No, I wasn't disappointed. I was like, oh, interesting. Well,
You got
Can
to.
I just say,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say MVP of the match is for me the next point. To me, it's Vera
no,
With
I would
the-
absolutely agree with that, because
with the friggin' what is it? Meteor? Not meteor storm. Firestorm.
That's
Mhm.
like 3 points.
Oh,
and the clutch heal.
yes, no, I was thinking
Yes.
the clutch hit. The first one was badass, and
Mhm.
prefaced by a nice little monologue, well, not monologue, but some nice comments. But
Yeah, we will get to that though after.
yes,
first
but
part.
the just having hit level 20 on the life oracle, it's double my constitution, so I would need to have gone to minus 28 HP to actually die. And
Well,
there were a
that's
couple of other
good.
things that would have let me stabilize, but
Were you still
'Cause-
scared?
there was a half orc thing and there's another thing that would have kept me alive. But for a minute there, I was like, well, I'm just going to be spending the next episode watching Jarl play because I don't have a backup character, and it's not as if you do that at this stage in the game. So I thought,
Marcus could
fuck,
shock.
I'm screwed. And it was very real for me because I figured it would really, if it didn't, I was prepared for the character to die. Like, I have been in my head thinking, okay, the character could legitimately die. I can be comfortable with that. I think I've done it. I'm comfy with how I played them and where they are at this point. It would suck, but at the same time, if they're dying for a good cause, I would have only been disappointed because they wouldn't have lived up to their word of, if anyone else dies, it's because they died first, which they've always meant to be like, I'm not going to die first, I'm going to keep you all alive. It wasn't actually, oh, well, shit, I did die first. So it was almost an inadvertently prophetic statement, but it would have sucked, but I would have enjoyed watching Jarl and been rooting you on. But yes, thankfully, Vera came in with that clutch heal, which was disturbing
Oh yeah,
in a good way.
Have I gone into the description of heal before? I feel like I
I think
have.
you have once for maybe Betravian. I think something
Yes.
at least akin to it. I think you did early
Yeah.
in.
Because I wasn't able to
When did you
really
get
fully
healed?
describe it in this one because it wasn't like fully physical wounds because it was like burns and stuff. I assume like cold necrotic burns rather than like straight up laceration damage. But typically it's like it basically fills in all the areas of damage with this like hive kind of husk material, while these wasps basically convert all of it back into flesh.
Which is
Like-
awesome and horrifying.
Yes.
That is how Xeno works.
I was wondering whether or not you'd be okay with the insinuation that something is moving inside of Kurla.
In that moment,
Mm.
I was so. In any other moment, I would have probably vomited. No kidding. Me, not Kurla, but in that moment, it was like, oh, thank God, Kurla's healed. I was too distracted, being relieved that not only were they now healed and not about to die, at least not in that moment, but then they could also bust out that mass heal, which would
Hell
bring
yeah.
everyone else back up, take out, I think, 1 or 2 of the shadows as well, because it inflicts negative energy to the. Yeah, it's not like Channel. It will do two things at once. It will help the good guys and kill the bad guys. So that made me happy, and that was also a nice kind of back and forth moment between Vera and Curler, who, you know, they spat outside of battle, but they have each other's back in battle, which I kind of like.
For sure.
I was very close to adding an additional detail onto that spell that might have been too much at the time.
Oh,
And that was that, like, because you mentioned that, like, you felt stuff like moving around
God.
inside you, kind of thing. And I was like, when the spell finishes, like you like retch forward and just like this cloud of wasps come out of your mouth and then turn into like dust.
Wasps I can just about handle. Had it been the things we discussed, that would have.
They're wasps. Yeah.
Anyway,
Gotta be bees.
But I was like, nah, that's too much.
so that was
So
There's more
tempting.
that was a cool moment for Vera, which I think I would say it was a cool moment for Curler. Everyone though had some cool moments. Pretty much everyone had some cool moments. Riz had a lovely moment with wiping out a bunch, or at least
don't
causing a lot of
think
damage
I-
to several.
Wiped out, like, I think I got 2. Yeah, I didn't really kill that many, like, at all.
You caused damage to other ones though. I mean, it was fairly effective, but we were rolling quite poorly, and I think some of the enemies were rolling quite well.
Didn't you take out one of the big shadows? Or was that Zell?
I
can't
don't
remember.
think it was me.
I think it was Curla.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Killed one of the huge shadows. Yeah.
Curla had that sweet heal that insta-killed.
That's right. Was that with the big heal to everybody that you killed? a bunch of
Yeah.
people?
I think,
No.
yeah.
I was not the biggest competitor in that fight at all.
Oh, and that actually might have been Undeath to Death. They did that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did bust that out once, I think. No,
Yeah.
did I?
I think
Yes,
Or
you
did
did.
someone
Yes, you
else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that
I don't
I
think
think it was
anyone else
Undeath
has
to
that.
Death that you cast that killed one of the huge shadows.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, rolling poorly, double nat ones. For...
Yep.
You know,
Chisel.
it's got to be everyone's time at some point, Skrewy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
God. Like, okay. I don't know how I have this thought that when a character rolls double nat ones, it's not an insta death, but you have to start throwing. Some DMs have that as, okay, start throwing death saves because you basically almost killed yourself.
Who do you play with?
That's a terrible house rule.
I think I have this memory of people I play with describing DMs that they had played with.
Well, throw it out. Throw
We
out
could-
that information. It's gone.
I have
Yeah.
played with someone who, if you roll like 3 nat ones in a row, you die instantly. So
Wow.
That's
and I
dumb.
watched
That's
and I
just
watched
dumb.
it happen. Once.
I mean, I guess that's the DM style that Beardy, thank God, does not use, which is it's the DM versus the players instead of the DM.
It's
you know,
adversarial
playing with
DM
the
bullshit,
players.
and I can't stand that crap.
Yeah.
They also had a rule that anytime anyone talked anything like that wasn't in game, like they're just chatting, that a train noise would happen, and then if they kept on saying, you hear the train coming closer, eventually it would hit your character and they would die.
Oh my God.
It wasn't a very
That's-
fun campaign.
So not cool.
It's not cool, but it's comical. Oh,
I'm
it's
now
awful.
understanding the point that you made after last night's game, which was that so few campaigns make it to level 20, and yeah,
Why?
that is suddenly making sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of terrible DMs out there, and it's because I think a lot of people lack the right mentality for it, because like people tend to play games that want to win games, right? Like, oh, I play a game to win. That's the reason we play games, is to win games.
Yeah.
And you get people that go to play D&D and don't really understand that this is not a game that you win in the same way. And people think that, oh, this is like playing Among Us, but I'm the imposter. So I'm playing D&D, but I'm the DM. So it's my job to win. And it's like, well, it's you're not playing the same game. Like I don't have any constraints on what I can do in the game. That's crazy. Like if it were adversarial, I would win every time because there's no contest. It's not. It's really. It drives me crazy. I'll put it that way. It just drives me up the wall to see adversarial DM stuff because it's just no point.
It's more like being a good Mario Maker creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Winning is telling a good story and making the world expansive for the audience and making
Yeah.
it fun for the players, I would think, and well,
I
fulfilling
still
for the
avoid
players.
using the word winning when it comes to.
Yeah.
Speaking
this is-
figuratively.
Yeah, it's not a game in which you win. It's a game in which you tell a fun story and hopefully everyone has fun during the journey. So, I don't know. I feel like I've probably come close to accomplishing that a couple of times, and that's good enough for me.
Well,
I think you do accomplish that frequently, but I know you don't take compliments well,
No.
and I'm
Yeah,
not
you
comfortable
messed it
calling you a
up.
bitch at the end of it, so
oh, now he's
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Look at him.
No, doesn't sit right.
Should have
Would it
just
ha-
left
would it
it.
help
You
if-
should have just
would it-
left it. He was fine
Yeah.
where he was.
Yeah.
would it help if I called you bitch?
No, it would just make me
No.
feel worse now. Thank you.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't win at all, can I? But then we've just said that there's no
No.
winning in this anyway.
No,
Isn't
you know,
the phrase just don't say anything at all and that's how you do it?
The only winning move is not to play.
Exactly.
I will remain silent for the rest of the episode.
Oh, hardy har har. Well, too bad because we're talking about your character next, so fuck off.
Yep.
So eventually in battle, Kurla gets to pull out the spell Divine Vessel again and make them a giant glowy moon vessel dress thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Well-
That is
well put.
honestly pretty accurate. Yeah, a glowy moon vessel dress thing is pretty accurate. Yeah,
And not a spider.
Not a spider.
not a spider.
Which
Importantly,
is
not a
very
spider.
good.
It was
I hate
it was
spiders.
nice to get to bust that out. Mechanically, it was nice, but within the game, it was also lovely to do that and not be beating up Petravian or dueling, sparring with Jiro. In
Yeah,
fact,
Bruce
was
would have
that
been pretty upset with that again.
I think that was the first time I've actually used it in a proper combat.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, proper in combat against enemies rather than party members.
So
Same thing.
remind me, it gives you like a big AC boost or something. Does it give? And it gives you 2 slam attacks.
It gives
Am I
me a
remembering that?
ton of spell resistance in general, and also against specific types of attacks like electricity and I think cold and a few other ones. It boosts my HP. It's a really powerful thing.
Okay, cool.
So, I had the list pulled up here.
Please.
Okay. Your size increases by 1 category, and your height doubles. Your weight increases by a factor of 8. Your features shift into those of a blah, and then it's whatever you're based on. But you gain +6 bonus to strength and constitution, +3 natural armor bonus, dark vision 60 feet, spell resistance of 12 plus caster level. And in the case of Celestial, which is what you were doing, you also gain +2 dexterity, DR 10 versus evil, resist acid 10, cold 10, electricity 10, +4 bonus on saves versus poison. You gain low light vision, a fly speed of 60 with good maneuverability, and 2 slam attacks. So, yeah, I mean, as far as abilities go, it's a pretty cool spell.
That was me kind of recognizing how close I'd come to death and how much I needed to be able to stick around to keep all the rest of you alive.
I get it. I threw out my Winds of Vengeance because I was like, I'm gonna die if I take any more of these bigger hits.
I considered playing that, doing that one first at the beginning of the combat, but I figured Blessing of Fervor was better for all of you. That may not have been the best strategy, but also the +2s and the rerolls, I think, or the +2 and the I
For
think
all
that
the
would've-
reflex saves we had to roll, yeah, that was pretty good to be honest. I think you're
Good.
fine. But
So, yeah, that was a moment that I enjoyed as well. So thank you for the description there, Beardy, as well. It's nice to not be a giant spider when I use that spell. Yay for not being a giant spider anymore.
So the huge shadows were throwing out between 18 and 24 d6 per spell on some of those. So they were very strong spells they were chucking out. But they were also glass cannons. Like they had like 50 hit points, so they were very, very easy to kill. And shit AC. I think their AC was 16. So basically no one was really missing anything on those guys. The final battle, I have Marcus statted up a bit differently. And his spells are going to be a lot nastier. So
Yay!
I'm sorry in advance.
Shit.
yeah, oh no, we knew coming into this was gonna be a rough battle.
Yeah, because I mean, like, in setting, he is one of the strongest spellcasters to have ever lived.
I think Book told us that
Yeah.
like forever ago. I think he talked about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he is one of the strongest spellcasters to have ever lived, and he is just as dangerous now as he was when he was alive, if not more so.
He's just a monster.
And we're going to
Yeah.
take him out.
And you can take him out, do it.
Gotta
Stick
do it to
his,
him.
stick his whatever he's got left of a soul in a black sapphire that we took out of a giant's eye.
So
Hell yeah.
Socket.
I have an idea of what I'd like to do to him before we
Oh.
put him in the sapphire,
Oh yeah?
and I'm really excited to attempt those things because you
Do you
know,
want to talk about it?
you and me, yes.
Okay.
I don't want the
Cool.
audience to know yet.
Okay. Noted.
But I'm totally fine talking to you about it because obviously, it's good when you know my
What-
plans.
what's the adage we say? If you want something to happen in D&D,
Talk to your DM.
talk to your DM.
Like seriously.
Yeah, like if you have like
if
an
I can
idea
give
for
you any advice, viewer, please
Yeah, like-
talk to your DM.
and here's the thing, viewer. If your DM, if you feel like that's a bad idea, or you feel like, oh well, if I tell my DM something, it'll never happen, or if I tell my DM my plans, he'll make sure that they fail. Guess what? You have a bad DM. Like that's I don't know what else to say. Like
Yeah,
if
I mean,
if you are terrified to talk to your DM because you think that they torpedo everything you want to do, you're in a bad game.
I appreciate how receptive you've been to that one spell, for instance. The whole Black Sapphire thing was because I saw that spell and ran it past you and was like, hey, this spell's
Yeah.
kind of cool. And you were like,
Oh,
oh, cool.
yeah.
We can work that into the narrative. And I was very
Yeah,
excited
it
about
works
that.
narratively very well. It explains why this guy won't just pop back alive, right?
Hey, I'm happy I didn't have to take the spell, so because like I have a very restricted amount of spells I can take, so I was like, fuck yeah, someone else got it. Woo!
Yeah.
Is that would have been in your spell repertoire? That's cool.
Well, I
Awesome.
mean, Risen's spells involve divine and arcane because their spell list, although very restricted, does not have a restriction based on a class. It's just it has a restrictive spell list. Like there are no
Gotcha.
The
what
spells
is-
all have to have to be thematic.
Yeah, they're almost they can take almost all divination spells. I don't think they have any access to any illusion spells at all, other than maybe a couple that were very specifically like themed. But yeah, it's a very restrictive spell list.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
a
short.
homebrew class. I'm curious, Beardy, did you develop that spell list then, or is
I
that
did.
based on... You did, Kenny. Awesome.
Yeah. Nope. I went through and was like, how do I make this hard for me?
Yeah. Pulled the spells and then submitted them for approval.
Mhm.
So
I always
that
feel
was where
like
we went.
for spell users and stuff, it's very cool and to me important to like limit what you're doing, not to just go with, oh, this is the best thing, because obviously fireball's the best. There you go, just do that. But
Yeah.
like for Vera, I'm like, okay, I'm only going to do insect-based ones that aren't plant-based, and if I don't have anything, I'm going to flavor them as insect-themed,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I find it
Yeah.
more.
And then use very specific circumstances to kind of unlock new
Yeah.
spells for your character, which I think have been very cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to the Fate Weaver spell list, I made sure, of course, divination was there because that was like a huge part of it. I wasn't able to use any spells that involved creating, like an element. Like they couldn't just make fire, but it would have to be situational, like weather-based, like the winds and stuff. And of course, based on Riz alone, like this would be different for another Fate Weaver probably. But for Riz's stuff, even though I had the wind spells on my list, I personally refused to take them because I couldn't buy the wind yet.
Yeah, which
I-
makes perfect sense.
I didn't get that until just now.
You didn't get the DLC until you
Yeah.
got your allowance.
Exactly.
And I've kind of tried to do the same thing with some of the spell choices I made. Like Divine Vessel, I wanted that to be rolled out slowly, which I think worked nicely. And also this last level up, because Kurlo's has found more balance, one of their more powerful negative spells is now gone and replaced with something much more neutral or positive.
Mhm.
Beardy and I were discussing that and swapped that out, so because it makes sense that they would be less violent, so that spell no longer suits them.
And that the magic they're getting from Thess isn't destructive or violent
Valuna.
in the same way.
Hmm.
Sorry,
Balloon, yeah.
Valuna. Apologies.
Yeah, then the whole spellcasting style has changed. It's
Sorry.
It's
Riz was
nice
still in
to.
the brain.
It's okay.
It was
They're
something I
not
thought was
always.
important, and kind of modeling that off Jarl was the idea that there need to be justifications for the choices that Kurla makes, and I make for Kurla in terms of not just plot but also spells and skills. So thank you for instilling that value in me, that the mechanics should follow the character.
But
Anyway,
going on, one of the coolest like MVP moments, right after already having a cool moment, was Vera's fucking baller ass firestorm of death and destruction.
I thought I was going to butcher that line, just straight up. I
It was
like,
so
I'm gonna
fucking cool.
mix it up. You ate my sister's. Fuck.
Firestorm. Yeah. Yeah. It was very, very good. 20d6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So like two. What? Let's see. So it'd be
it was
40
40 10-foot squares.
so 400 cubes of area. Is that?
Yeah, 4 cubes for 40 times 4. Yeah.
No, it's 40 times 10 foot cube.
If you're talking about. No, it was 2 10-foot cubes per level.
Okay.
So it'd be 40.
Yeah.
40 10-foot
40
cubes.
10-foot cubes. Yeah.
Yeah. So 40 times 40 times 10. So
Yeah.
400.
400 square feet.
Oh.
Right?
Yep. No.
Yeah.
400
Math.
squares. We'll just do that.
400.
We're smart, everybody.
400
We're
squares,
smart,
because I mean
everybody.
each square is 5 foot, so if we're talking square footage, you have to
Yeah.
multiply
So
out.
if
But
we're
anyway,
talking about in square footage, it would be 400 square feet. And if we're talking about in squares, it's 40 times 4.
anyway,
Whatever. I don't even care. I'm getting stupid with math.
it was a fucking great moment. It was
My
really
brain
effective.
doesn't work today. So yeah, no, it was a huge amount of damage. It covered most of the battlefield. It annihilated every single enemy target that was left on the field at the time. Like, it cleared the board. It was beautiful. I mean, more showed up at the beginning of the next round, but still, like, you guys got a little moment of reprieve from that. Phenomenal.
It was a good hit.
Mhm.
I think it's the most useful Firestorm has been.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I certainly agree with that. And yeah, lovely line delivery beforehand.
Thank you.
Crowning moment of awesome, I think would be the TV tropes entry for
Yep.
that.
Poggers.
Poggers. That was it.
But continuing on, there was a, I guess, close but not so close call of the Lost Souls coming in for Zell and Levette. The worrisome most would be Zell, I think.
Zell passed his will save.
Yeah, but you're like, I'm not gonna tell you, and I'm over here like, but I can prevent this.
Mm.
I have the power.
If he had failed, I would have turned him into bees for a second, just like I did Petravian.
Yeah,
Nice.
and
It's a
I
lot
feel
of
like
bees.
that'd be a good use of that, just to be like, no, we're not dealing with you right now.
That being said, that would very much hurt Vera's defense against Marcus. And
But it also
Coming.
completely torpedoed your plan to kill the Deadlands. If that had happened.
Turning him into bees?
No. If Zell was
Oh, okay.
taken over by a lost soul.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah,
What
then one
would have
popped into-
happened if Zell
What?
was gone and only the machine went off?
So what would have happened if Zell did not succeed? So you guys, it would have been an explosion. It would have disrupted the Deadlands for a few seconds, and then it would have came back. So it
Oh.
wouldn't have been permanent.
Shit.
Yeah. Because it was Zell's part of it that made it actually stick.
sustain.
Yeah.
And of course, the opposite conditions from what created it,
Yes.
because I believe, as you put it, it was all the negative energy from one side, and then the compressing eternity into one moment. to create the Deadlands, and the opposite of that, suddenly all the positive energy and, well, removing that or letting a single moment be, well, the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Single moment be an
exactly.
eternity, or eternity be a single.
Yep.
Yeah. Reverse, that's how the reversal
So,
worked.
yeah, it was the opposite of what initially happened to undo it.
And it did go off. It worked, but not before the countdown timer had been affected by all of that damage, and Levette needed to do some emergency maintenance.
Yeah. Pulled off a really good check and was able to reroute a bunch of stuff to cause it to not explode immediately.
Thank you,
but to give you
Graham.
guys a few more seconds to get out of there.
Thank you, Zell, for getting us out of there, though, because, like, goddamn.
True.
I had something, but I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, because my thing would have derailed moving into the next combat quickly. So I'm glad that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, good on. Even though she had to get rid of Dorothy, which I know Graham was super sad about, fixing up the machine a little bit, I think, was for the best. At least thematically and story-wise.
No, absolutely.
But Zell sends us on our way with a fissure in the ground, which I trusted him completely, that we would be okay. I don't know if anyone else got scared or anything, but I was like, this is fine. We will be safe. Oh.
I trusted him.
Yeah.
He's a good one. Or he was a good one. Rest in peace. Pour one out for Zell. Pour out
RSVP Zell.
one of those drinks.
I got to
from the
have a
party.
moment with Xeno last night where I was like, is it okay that I'm sad about this? Because I'm really sad. I know I was like prepared for this to happen.
For like 2 years.
For like 2 years, but I'm just really sad right now.
Yeah.
I think that's... I mean, it's sad to see him go, but I think that's great that you are that involved and the characters are that real.
Always.
They are for me as well, a lot of them, so...
All of them.
I hope they are for the audience as well. I hope that you're as invested in our adventures as we are.
Especially Detlef.
Of course.
Maybe not him. He
You mean-
can go die.
You mean our People's Choice best NPC, Detlef?
That we can never get rid of now.
I mean, he's the fan favorite, Kenny. I can't get rid of him.
I know.
I mean, you can kill one, but there's always going to be another librarian.
Oh,
There's always
fuck.
more Detlef.
There will always
I'm
be
very
Detlef.
curious to see if he appears in any of the future campaigns. And whether or not he will age.
I feel like there's like a 100% chance we will see Detlef again.
Wait and see.
We're gonna start one of the campaigns. We're gonna be on a ship, and it's just gonna be all Detlef as crew members.
Love it. Well,
No, Detlef.
thank you. I knew as I said it that was... Anyway, we get sent to the edge of the Deadlands, but for a few rolls, had Zell failed that will save, or had Levette not got that wonderful engineering or clockwork check, things could have gone very, very differently, but they worked out in Fortune's favor.
Haha.
And the Deadlands weren't just rolled back, they were completely obliterated, changing the fate of the southern continent and Obador and Adrian entirely, forever. Beardy,
Yeah.
thoughts?
So yeah, that's a major change to the setting. I'm very, very happy to see the world map get updated a bit. So I've got some work to do to update some stuff. But yeah, the Deadlands are no longer a thing, and that's going to change the geographical landscape as well as the political landscape of the setting, and it will do from here on. So as the setting advances on in time, as we play further and further campaigns, that's going to have major effects on the power balance of the setting, because now this really big wide open area that's basically uncolonized. So it's this
Tons
nice
of natural resources.
yes, full of natural resources, full of like partially built towns that would be easy to reclaim and live in. And it's like, well, maybe this is a good place to colonize. So
Yo, the
You
Hive
might
has to get
see-
on that.
yeah, whole new area to live in.
The Telic boy will get to reclaim perhaps his ancestral home and have two homes and grow in power and become a dick.
Huh?
I'll be watching.
Or at least his children.
Eat the rich.
Maybe not the Telic boy, but definitely their children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spoiled bratty children. Yeah.
But yeah, standing there and looking at that expanse of newly regreened land didn't last terribly long.
Yeah, we got to enjoy it for like a second.
Vera laughed. It was
That's
fucking
true.
weird, and I loved
Yeah.
it. I was so happy.
The one time that Vera has kind of actually relaxed and shown a little bit of humanity.
I fucking-
Then tighten right back up.
Yeah.
it made me really happy.
It was nice to see.
But we got called, and he was like, "You can't stop me. How
I'm
dare
really angry.
How dare you take
I'm-
away from my deadlands? I'm gonna
I'm-
get you guys, you metal
I'm gonna get you kids.
He was not pleased, which is awesome, because now we have his fuck. He dismissed us when we were, 17, 18, as not being worth his time or
Yeah.
attention.
Well, my counter
That was
spell
worth
with
its
a
time.
nat 20 didn't work. So, honestly, not that surprising.
It didn't work
Yeah.
when you were 18
No, we
it might
weren't
work now.
18 yet.
or 17.
Yeah, 17 or
Yeah.
16. We weren't up there yet.
No,
It might work now.
I
all
hope
of us
so.
working together, we've pulled off, what were Karis's steps? 1, 2, and 3?
Question mark,
Yeah.
question mark, profit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh,
It's a
uh-huh.
three-step plan to win. You're on step 3 now.
I thought it was a 4-step plan to win, and we're
So
on step 4.
step 1 was get the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2 is destroy the Deadlands, and step 3 was to kill and seal Marcus, right?
Okay.
I mean,
That's what it was
Yeah.
for, but anyway.
We've got 2
What?
steps done. That's like the majority.
yeah,
We're
that's
on
like
the
most
final
of the
step.
plan. So like you guys have already kind of won. So
I thought step 3 was watch Proto fall and then destroy Marcus.
well, I guess if you want to drag your feet, you can.
Oh, also, man, Kodre is going to have a fantastic time because now they have like this crippled nation that has been trying to oppress them being destroyed.
Yep.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah, that's going to change some political dynamics a bunch, right?
Good for them.
Yeah.
Fuck Proto.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Vera.
So yeah, you guys. Not only does you get some angry words from Marcus, he summons you all, sucks you in a tube. You get strawed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Daddy.
The next
Oh
thing
my
you know,
God.
you all pop out onto a battlefield,
It's true.
and you see like Protean soldiers and banners and all kinds of combat, and there's an undead horde, and yeah, what
Something,
happens? What happens
someone
then? What happens then?
Is looming over us. Did they say hi? What did they specifically say?
Did they say
They
anything?
didn't say it.
I
No,
didn't-
they didn't say anything.
Okay.
They didn't say anything.
Oh.
You
They
just saw
were,
a familiar face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
And
someone.
And that's where we're gonna.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's walks up to you, and you see a familiar face, and we fade to black. So
That's the
Does
end.
anyone have any guesses? If-
Okay, it could be the guy that brought us over from across the land bridge.
Faustus?
no,
No.
the merchant.
Oh, the
the
merchants.
caravan
Oh,
master.
Okay.
Okay,
Could be the caravan master for some
It
reason.
could be Fortune's favor, the other one.
that's true. It
Trade
could be
Yeah.
Copyright
Fortune's favor.
pending.
Moira, yeah. I beg your
Yeah.
not Moira, Naomi.
Could be Naomi. Yeah, not sure why Naomi would be at a battle, but you
Well,
know.
Fortune's Favour Trading Company, as Kenny said.
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Could be Bahrain.
Could be Bahrain.
It could be a certain...
Certain Oriad.
a certain
Mhm.
Oriad's older
Nah.
brother.
I'm holding my hope for that one just because
It would be nice.
he's really fucking strong.
He's cool. He's
level
level
20.
20, like barbarian. I'll take him, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
I don't
I can't do justice to that character after it was so expertly played.
Yeah.
Like,
After he laid the beat down of Petravian.
And so and not just expertly played the character. He expertly portrayed the character.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he
Originated
played the class
character.
well.
yeah.
Yeah. So just
So like
Mm.
if I were to step in and try to play Cassius, I don't think I would do justice to it.
no, I don't think so,
So,
either. As
I-
much as
I
I,
don't
think
have
it's gonna be
faith in you,
Cassius,
it wouldn't
sadly.
be the same.
It wouldn't be the same, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to do that justice.
He'll have to just be in the end credits.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, shout out to Silver Quill.
Yep.
wherever he may But that is where the session ends. Any last remaining statements before we go into the schedule coming up or the finale?
Some bitch gonna die in 2 weeks.
It might be us.
I'm
might be us.
glad that I lived, or rather that Kurla lived, to potentially die again. I'm glad I'm not missing this battle.
Mhm.
Gotta
Thank
die
you,
another
Vera.
day.
Thank you, Xeno.
Well, going forward, just to kind of update everyone with what's happening with the future schedule. Next weekend, we are off. This allows us to take a little bit of extra time to prepare, plus one of our members is going to be out, so we don't really want to do the finale without them, which is perfectly fine. The 18th is when our finale is. Saturday, 8? Is it 8 p.m.?
8 p.m. Central.
8 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
Is our finale. And that will end when it ends. The 19th will be the finale's checkpoint. We'll have another weekend off of the 25th and 26th. And then on March 4th, same time as we would have our campaign sessions, 8 p.m. Central on Saturday, is when we are doing campaign. That's including Season 1 and Season 2, the whole campaign's checkpoint, where we just go over stuff. So if anyone wants to send in questions, any kind of curiosities they might have that they can ask Beardy, because that is when we are taking the screen down.
Yeah, that is notes on the table. Any question you have, as long as it is not important to a future campaign, I will answer everything asked. So there will be full, complete candor to everything, to any kind of plot line or any NPC, any question, whatever, I'll answer, unless it is going to be used for something in the future, for something else. So as long as it's something that's no longer in play, I'm happy to discuss it.
Dunkelmir's love life.
Oh my God, he
That guy fucks.
I'll answer that when we get there.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Dead Lab's love life.
Would it be Dunkelmir Jr., Dunkelmir the Second,
Oh, definitely second. Had to be.
the Dunkmeister?
The Dunkster.
Dunkel Mirson? Son,
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, you don't really know, but like he already has a number after his name. Like he's not just Dunkelmir. He's already like Dunkelmir the Seventh. It's a very prolific
God.
line. The Dunks.
Why ain't he saving the world then?
How do you know he's not?
He's not us. He's not cool enough.
Not cool enough. Okay.
No.
He's not a playable
Literally,
character.
the big bad has summoned us specifically. So
Yeah, 'cause
obviously we're the biggest,
Y'all were
players
the
on
ones
the
that knocked the
board.
Deadlands out. Wonder where the rest of the Lightning Blades were. Do you think the Lightning Blades were already in the
You think
Deadlands
they're
at the
dead
time?
already?
Trying to like stop it too, and you blew them up?
Instead
fuck.
of Jiro
Wow.
dying, the rest of the lightning blades are dead.
Yeah, because you blew them up.
I mean, was anything in the
Sacrifices were
Deadlands?
made, and nothing of value was lost.
Ouch.
They're not playable characters.
Oh,
It's
man.
fine.
Now Jiro has no reason to, has no ties at all outside of.
Now
Yeah,
he can only be mine.
Just to clarify, though, so anything in the Deadlands would have been caught just as we were caught at the 10% version in the manor, and it wouldn't have got lesser HP damage as it moved towards the borders. It would have been just anywhere that a living creature would have been in the Deadlands would have been hit by full force.
So it was enough because of the compression of time that was being done by Zell.
Okay.
It sufficiently suffused every bit of the Deadlands with enough positive energy to destroy it forever. So yeah, it would have killed anyone in there. So like had you walked into the edge of the Deadlands right before the bomb went off, it would have killed you. Even though you were one step in, it would have been enough because you would have basically had that moment turned into an eternity.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So you'd have died. It would have been really bad. So yeah,
It
blew up.
happens.
Yeah.
What would
So
that
anyone in there-
visually? What would happen? Paint a picture for me. What if we watched somebody die from?
Imagine
What?
microwaving a balloon full of blood.
Okay.
Amazing.
Well, on
is
that,
Wow,
that
fuck.
sufficiently descriptive?
Well, no. When you say, see, to me, when someone says you extend a moment into eternity,
Right.
it, oof,
So like,
yeah,
so like you suffusing positive energy into something, which you think is a good thing, right? Oh, it heals you. But too much of anything is dangerous, and
Mhm.
if you suffuse enough of it into something, it's just going to burst. So it's like microwaving somebody.
lightning maids are dead if they were in there. Then.
That's
That,
what I
that.
said.
is what Beardy
Rip.
said. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
already said
yeah,
that. Yeah.
fuck. Wow.
On that-
Too late.
On that pleasant thought and on that lovely image, yeah, shall we? Until next time, folks.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for the finale. Until then, take care of yourselves and make sure to roll with us again soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Forever.